Welcome to Wedding Cakes for You YouTube. I'm Lorelei, and this is a semi-naked wedding cake video, which I'm doing in collaboration with Tracy at Auntie's Cakery. Tracy made this beautiful red velvet semi-naked wedding cake for you. Check out Tracy's amazing cakes and channel and let her know that you stopped by. Enjoy our cake collaboration. This three-tiered semi-naked wedding cake starts with my orange butter cake, which you can find in my book, Wedding Cakes with Lorelei, Step by Step. Now to fill and frost, you will need about 5 batches of my Italian meringue buttercream recipe, which I will link to in the description box and or at the end of the video. You'll need 5 pints of fresh raspberries. If you can't find good fresh raspberries, you can use frozen. A 14-inch cardboard is hot glued onto a 16-inch base. The cake is placed sticky side down and excess crumbs are brushed off the side. A sugar syrup is brushed onto the layer. You can find the link below to the sugar syrup recipe. Then the buttercream goes on. This has white chocolate added to it, which gives it an extra special yumminess. The raspberries are added. Stay clear of the edges because the berries can leak a little and you don't want any juices escaping out the sides of your cake. Then another layer of buttercream is added to seal in the fruit. Repeat that whole process for the next layer. Finally, the top layer goes on. You may need to trim the sides like I'm doing here. Repeat the layering for the 10 and the 6-inch tiers. And now you're ready to frost. Use a generous amount of buttercream on top and then spread the frosting down the sides of the cake. Use a bench scraper tool to scrape off the excess until you're satisfied with the way it looks. An offset spatula can be used to trim the top edge. Use a cake pan to mark where the next tier will be placed. I'm doweling here with straws to support the next tier. Cutting the dowels. The cake was pretty even, so I'm cutting them to match the top of the cake. A piece of wax paper can act as a barrier to keep the tiers from sticking. The tiers are then placed and a dowel goes all the way through to the bottom and into the base. A simple border is piped with a star or shell. This is a number 22 Wilton. The cake is done and ready for delivery. The cake is boxed and in the air-conditioned van and ready for a 2-hour trip to Massachusetts. Yay, the cake made it to the venue and all in one piece. So in this part of the video, I'm just going to share with you some tips on putting flowers on your cake. I find it's best to clip some of the flowers first to get started. The bride requested dollops of buttercream as part of the decoration. I'm using the 1M for the dollops. Buttercream is the perfect base for your flower arranging. I like to start from the top and work my way down. For each arrangement, you can use a dollop of buttercream as a barrier and as a way to stick the flowers onto the cake. It's helpful to create the arrangements ahead of time. This border needed to be bigger, so I used the 1M and I piped another border around. Generally, the flowers get larger as you make your way down the cake. We decided to use just petals around this cake so it wouldn't detract from the simple beauty of this rustic semi-naked wedding cake. For a final touch, pieces of white hydrangea are added around the base to tie everything together. A final bit of advice: celebrate every success. Thanks for watching, and thank you, Tracy of Auntie's Cakery, for joining me in this fun collaboration. See you next week!